Morning, Sammer.
Dan?
I'm working with you today, not Leanna, just so you know.
Got it.
Did you just say good morning, Sammer? Did you just say my name, Dan? Did you need me?
No, I just was letting Sammer know I'm Leanna today.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Sammer. How's it going?
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Jim.
Morning.
Jim, you gonna send us offers?
I just did about a minute ago to you and Sam.
Where's the other one, Angela?
I don't speak for her.
She's usually on bright and early.
Mr. Jadala, are you ready with something?
Not yet, Judge. I was just reviewing the offers. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I get happy at 8:05 when I see defense attorneys and prosecutors at the same time.
Sir, who's identified as 1+GN, if you can hear me, you please join the breakout room.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Mr. Hopkins. Sir, who just sat down in the red shirt, can you hear me? Hey, Dan, good morning. Are you ready with something?
Yes, we are ready on Bronson Lewis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis, just hang tight till the judge gets on the record, okay?
Yes, sir.
These are, good morning, 21BB01735A and 21BB01542B. These are both Van Buren Township versus Bronson Lewis. May I have your
Yes.
appearances, please?
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Good morning. y'all.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Lewis. Judge, did you call two cases because there is a third one that was recently added to the docket, a 23 case?
Thank you, Mr. Batar. I called two cases. I'm looking for, I have two files for, am I missing?
Yes, there is one more that's set for, I think 8:30. I don't, it's probably not on your docket. It was on Angela's. I think one of the clerks gave, I can give you the case number, Judge, if you'd like.
The case number, Mr. Batar?
23 VB 03345.
I don't have the case. My docket was printed on the 4th. Marianne or Miss Manarino,
Yes, Your Honor.
is that case really scheduled for today? The case number Mr. Batar just gave?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it was added to the docket earlier this week. There were a couple that were added for defendants who already had cases that were scheduled for this morning, so they don't have to appear again in 2 weeks.
It was added on the 5th, so no, I don't have it, but that case is scheduled for pretrial arraignment to another driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied from November the 17th. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding this morning with Mr. Lewis?
Your Honor, Mr. Lewis is going to plead guilty to no operator's license on two of the files, the 21 case that ends in 735 and the new 23 case. The other 21 case will be dismissed per the plea.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis, raise your right hand for me, please.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Batar, explain the rights you be waiving by entering a plea this morning to no operator's license on person in two of the files. Mr. Batar explained to you that you'd be waiving your right to have a trial in this matter by entering a plea this morning,
Yes.
and that you would not have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or present a defense.
Yes.
And you wish to plead guilty to no operator's license on person in two cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Batar is aware of this, but I want to make the disclosure on the record that I'm married to an elected official in Van Buren Township. My husband's not involved in the day-to-day operations of the Public Safety Department. He doesn't know anything about your case. He doesn't even know that it's scheduled. Mr. Batar knows it, but I say it on the record so that everyone who is in this session knows it, and I don't have to keep repeating it, hopefully, more than a few times during the blocks of the cases. Mr. Batar, are we prepared to proceed with this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis, is it true that on September 19, 2021 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Manarino?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, is it also true that on November 17, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Manarino?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, the court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on your person in the case that ends in 735A. Court will dismiss 542B, and in 345, it will be a plea. Court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on persons, and we'll get that file up here so we can notate it properly. And for the case that is 735A, Mr. Lewis, the court will impose the following: a fine of $100, cost of $100, $75 crime victim fee, $100 show cause fee, $50 bench warrant fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. In the new case, the 345 case, $100 fine, $100 cost, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. As indicated previously, the 452B is being dismissed. Mr. Lewis, are you able to pay the fines and costs within the next 5 days?
No, Your Honor.
Then there's no one here from the court's collection department. Mr. Lewis, what you can do is one of three things. You can come here in person and speak to a cashier, set a payment plan. You can go online to the court's website. And there's a contact us button. It'll drop down and you'll be able to submit a request for a payment plan, or you call, come in person, or email and get a payment plan, one of those three ways, okay?
Okay, so I can't come up there today and set up a payment plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll come up there.
Anything else, Ms. Manorino?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Lewis?
No,
I'm sorry,
no,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Matar.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis, that concludes this matter. You're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. You have a good afternoon, okay?
You as well, ma'am. Have a blessed one.
Thank you. How do you add a file on the 5th for a docket on the 7th and don't bring the file?
Yeah, do you have, the case number on that? Did you write it down? I will grab.
I
the file.
sure did.
Okay, thank you.
It's 23 VB 03345 OT.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think the first case of the day is always a little rusty. Two three zero seven nine two OM Van Buren Township versus Dustin Burley. Your appearance, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richard Oliver, appearing on behalf of Mr. Scott Martin, who appears via over Zoom by phone, Judge. Mr.
That's
Martin,
not the
please
case.
state
I
your name.
called Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not the case. I called Mr. Jadala. You're fine. I just want to get the right case.
Oh, I just made that up. I'm sorry, Judge.
No, you're fine. Two three VB 02975 OM Van Buren Township versus Scott Martin. Mr. Martin, state your name for me, please, sir.
Scott Martin.
Thank you. This is the show cause arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. I've discussed with Mr. Martin, Your Honor. He's updated his address with the court. I've explained to him that he will be receiving his court date over Zoom today to write it down, and that not receiving it in the mail won't be a good enough excuse. We just asked for personal bond and this matter be set for a pretrial.
Absolutely. Bond in this case will be set at 1,000 personal. Mr. Martin, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety. Your adjourned pretrial date will be
December 21st at 9:10.
December 21st, 2023 at 9:10 a.m. That's back here on this same Zoom ID in courtroom number 1. And Mr. Martin, the next time that you have court, sir, you need to make yourself available to see and be seen, okay?
Your Honor, he did attempt
I
to.
never received any papers. I never
I'm sorry.
knew of the court date.
That's not what she's talking
That's
about, Judge.
the whole
Judge,
confusion.
Judge, he lives in an area with very low connectivity. He attempted to log on traditionally, and I advised him to log on this way so he didn't get another show cause. It was better than not showing up. I just wanted to let the court, he did trust.
Absolutely.
Yes, and the clerks were trying to alert him to connect to audio, and because of the connectivity, it wasn't working.
Thank you, Mr. Jadala. Mr. Martin, is there anything else?
No, it's just the same number, 580-707-8882.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I
Okay,
may.
yep, I got
Hold
it.
on one second. Yes, Ms. Manarino.
Your Honor, in regards to Mr. Martin's bond conditions, I didn't hear the court, I didn't know if the court made no contact with the complainant, a condition of Mr. Martin's bond. If not, I would ask that that be added.
There is nothing in the court file that indicates that that was a request. But Mr. Martin, if you were able to hear the prosecutor, Ms. Manarino, she's asked that your bond condition be that you have no contact. There's no name for the complainant. That would be Ms. Manarino.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, I live 365 miles. And
Mr.
yeah, I don't want to
Martin?
talk to her.
Mr. Martin,
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to you. I was asking Ms. Manarino, the prosecutor, the name of the complainant so we can have it properly in the file.
Oh.
Give me
Okay.
1 second, sir.
Sorry, Judge, I didn't have it in front of me. Just 1 second. I apologize. Your Honor, the complainant as listed in the report is a Julene Croteau. The first name is Juleen. The last name is Croteau.
Your Honor, there are no objections to the.
Mr. Martin,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jadawa.
There are no objections to the no contact order. I've discussed it with him. He understands what no contact is. As he was trying to explain to the court, Your Honor, he lives all the way up in the UP, about 380 miles away from here. So there's going to be no problem complying.
Okay, and Mr. Martin, just so the record is clear, there is a no contact order in the file for your bond condition. And sir, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through social media, no contact through third persons. If the court receives report that you made efforts to be in contact or communication with the complainant in this case, it could be viewed as a violation of the terms of your bond. Your bond could be revoked and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. Mr. Martin, you may disconnect at this time. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Hadley.
Good morning, Your Honor. We are all set to go on Mr. Thomas Hopkins. Believe I've moved him back in.
Thank you.
Yep, there we go. Hello, Mr. Hopkins. Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Thomas Hopkins.
23VB03034 A, B, and C, Van Buren Township versus Hopkins. State your name for me, please, sir.
Thomas Martin Hopkins.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm pulling this up just to make sure we hear on a. Okay, so today's just
These
a
are for
pretrial.
pre-hearing and pretrial this morning, Mr. Hadley. How are we proceeding?
Very good, Your Honor. I've spoken with the people. There is a blood test. The Michigan State Police is in the process of processing, and we're going to be asking for this to be kicked out. Ms. Manarino and I discussed it based on kind of using other cases as a guesstimate. We would think end of January, beginning of February would hopefully be sufficient to allow the blood test to be returned back.
End of January would be,
I have January 18th with Judge Green at 9 o'clock.
thank you. Mr. Hopkins, your cases are being adjourned to January the 18th, 2024 at 9 a.m. That will be back on Zoom in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Notice will be mailed to you at the address you verify with the court staff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, I'm gonna need to speak with Mr. Min, and then we'll be ready to go on Ronnie days. Give me just one moment.
Thank you. Mr. Hopkins, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Just wait until the judge calls your case.
Okay, thanks.
Two 30767 OD. Van Buren Township versus Thousand. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, respectfully,
Hi, yes,
Stanley Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Thousand. Ms. Thousand, please say your name for the record.
Anastasia Jolene Thousand.
Your Honor, for purposes
Today's
of
the day and time. Go ahead, Mr. Jadal. My apologies.
My apologies. For purposes of today's arraignment, Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and staying mute. We respectfully request any warrant to be recalled. We'd like to set this matter for a pretrial and ask the prosecution for discovery, Your Honor. Also, I've advised Ms. Thousand that she needs to make her way to the Van Buren Police Department for fingerprints. She understands and she will comply.
Thank you. The court has signed the order for fingerprints. Ms. Thousand, as indicated by Mr. Jadala, please make your way to the Public Safety Department to have your fingerprints taken. The bond recommendation indicates that there is no opposition to personal bond. The court will set your bond, ma'am, at $5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety.
Okay, that's no problem.
Based on the allegations contained in a citation in the complaint in this matter, ma'am, condition of your bond is that you not purchase, possess, consume any alcoholic beverages and any non-prescription controlled substances.
Okay, no problem.
And that adjourned pretrial date will be
December 21st at 8:30.
Okay, thank you.
December 21st at 8:30 a.m. back here in courtroom number 1 on Zoom. Notice will be mailed to you at the address on file. Is there anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Thousand, you're free to go. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
23VB02590 AOT, Van Buren Township versus Sidney Patrick.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Patrick. She is going to plead to double parking with a stipulated fine of $400.
State your name for me, ma'am.
Yes, Sidney Patrick.
Ms. Patrick, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes,
And after having that conversation, ma'am, you wish to plead responsible to double parking, understanding that the misdemeanor
yes,
charge of violation of instructional permit will be dismissed.
yes,
The court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Mr. Batar, I missed that fine amount.
$400, Your Honor.
$400, ma'am. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
yes,
Then what you can do, ma'am, is you can come to the court, set a payment plan. You can call and speak to the court's collection department. and set a payment plan.
Okay.
Or you can go online to the court's website. There is a contact us button. You click on that button, it'll drop down and you can submit a request for a payment plan. They can add it to the payment plan you already have with the court.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go, Ms. Patrick. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Courtney, have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
I have not.
Let's get you into the room to speak to them. You should see a button to go into a breakout room or an invitation to join the breakout room. Please go there.
Okay. They
Yes,
said
it
she
looks
wasn't
like
here yet.
It looks like she has, Miss Medina as an attorney. I haven't seen her yet.
Good morning, Ms. Medina.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Ms. Medina, you already have someone here, so we'll get you into a breakout room with Ms. Courtney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Medina, I made you co-host so you can move around.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good morning. Oh, and now I get to just bother Angela in person. Okay, thank you. For Miss Courtney, though, since she's in the main room, I'm not able to put her somewhere. I don't know if.
Miss Medina, I'll help you. I'll move her in, I'll move her into room 12.
Thank you so much. And
You're
then
welcome.
normally when they're in the rooms, I can move them around. Thank you.
Sure.
This is 2305290M Van Buren Township versus John Delaney. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, just a second here. Get my video up. My video's not up, Your Honor. Before the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of, and with Mr. Delaney. Mr. Delaney thought these hearings were in person. He arrived. He's either going to be downstairs or I'm going to tell him to go back home and get on Zoom.
He's
Today's the date and time
here
set for
in the Zoom room, Mr. Bowditch.
Today's the date and time, Your Honor, for a final pretrial in this matter, where the victims must appear. Here's the video. So we're waiting for that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Bowditch, the court is showing that the case is scheduled at 8:30. It's 8:41. The policy is typically 15 minutes after the scheduled start time, so we'll get a moment. We'll check with Ms. Manarino.
I've been here since 8 o'clock.
Not you,
Mr. Delaney, you're not the issue, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Manarino,
Yes, Your Honor.
any update in the Delaney matter?
Your Honor, I did notify the victim with a letter advising him of the date and time of today's final pretrial and informed him that if he did not appear, that the case would be dismissed. I just popped out of the breakout room, so I don't know if anyone has appeared on that case.
I'll give you a moment if you want to check. It's 8:42. The court will take the motion from Mr. Bowditch in the next minute or two.
Yeah, Judge, there is one person just identified as iPhone in the clerk's waiting room waiting to be checked in. I'm not sure if that's someone on this case or not.
How you doing? 1 second, I just got done using the restroom.
Ma'am,
Yes,
your name, please?
Emmy Lou Richardson.
Ms. Richardson, we're gonna get you renamed and put you back in the waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Judge, she needs to join the breakout room.
I know, I pulled her out to make sure she wasn't the complainant on the case I called.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Judge.
That being the case, Mr. Bowditch.
If the time has expired, Your Honor, we would make a motion for dismissal without prejudice.
Get you started. I'm gonna go do this in my car and then I'll come in.
Case being scheduled at 8:30, it being 8:43 by the court's clock, complainant having failed to appear. Court will grant the defense motion to dismiss. That dismissal is without prejudice. Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Delaney, you're free to go. Please exit the room you're in by that door to your left. Court staff will come reset that computer.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Have a good day, sir.
Your Honor, I believe I have Mr.
This
Malik
is-
Reeves in a breakout room with him. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're okay. You need to meet with Mr. Reeves.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're a co-host, Mr. Bowditch. You can put yourself back in your breakout room. Mary Ann will get Mr. Reeves in with you.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Green. How are you? You're muted, sir.
I'm doing fine, Judge. It's great to see you.
Good to see you. What are you here for?
Darcel Brooks being accused of resisting arrest, and he's not. He'll be here in like 2 minutes, but
Have you spoken to the prosecutor?
I have indeed, and we've
Okay.
yeah, we
Mr. Green, the case is at 9:10. When your client gets here, I'll call the case. I just wanted to see what you were here for. You're not labeled as who you're with. I know that Mr. Bitar and Mr. Jadala has some things ready. So if you sit tight, I'll be back to you momentarily, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. This is 23VB032770M Van Buren Township versus Clay. Appearances, please.
Angela Mannering on behalf of the people.
Daniel Bitar on behalf of Ms. Clay, Your Honor, and I believe Ms. Clay has 2 cases. Am I wrong about that? Nope.
23VB03344OM. Thank you, Mr. Bitar. Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Kiara Clay.
Thank you. Both of these cases are scheduled for arraignment. Both of these cases are scheduled for arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Bitar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, with respect to the arraignment on both matters, we will waive a formal reading and stand mute, please, and we're asking for a pretrial at a later date, and Ms. Manarino is going to submit discovery orders, correct, Ms. Manarino?
Yes.
Thank you. Bond in these cases, both cases will be set at 1,000 personal. Ms. Clay, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Manarino.
Yes,
The
Your
victim
Honor.
in this case would be?
I have a Mary Faison Knox.
Hello?
Ms. Clay, a condition of your bond in both of these cases is that you have no contact with the complainant. And ma'am, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact with third parties, no contact through social media. Should the court receive reports that you've made efforts to be in contact or communication with a complainant whose name was just placed on the record, the court could view that as a violation of the terms of your bond. Your bond could be revoked and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your adjourned pretrial date will be
December 21st at 9:20.
9:20.
Yes.
Hang on one
Thank
second,
you.
Judge.
December
Can I-
21st at 9:20, Ms. Clay. Back here on Zoom in number 1 with me.
Okay, Your Honor.
Notice, I'm sorry, Mr. Bitar, is that a bad date for you?
No, Judge, I just opened my calendar and that day works for me. What was the
Okay.
time though, Judge?
9:20.
Thank you.
Ms. Clay, notice of this date will be mailed to you at the address we have on record, December 21st, 9:20. Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clay, you're free to go. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Ms.
You're
Clay, I'll talk
welcome.
to you soon, okay?
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.
These are 23VB02850 A, B, and C, and 23VB02851OI. These are all Van Buren Township versus Amber Newsom. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Samer Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Newsom. Ms. Newsom, please unmute yourself and say your name for the record.
Amber Newsom.
Turn your video on for me, please, ma'am. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding in these matters?
Your Honor, at this time, after speaking with the city attorney, understanding that the officer witness has been in communication and will be appearing today, there are no offers, so my client will be pleading as charged to the civil infraction as well as the 3 misdemeanors, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Newsom, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Newsom, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, is your understanding and agreement that you will be pleading guilty and responsible as charged to every case before the court this morning?
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
And ma'am, are you entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty and responsible?
No.
You're pleading guilty and responsible because you are in fact guilty and responsible.
Yes.
Ms. Newsom, is it true that on September 18, 2023 in Van Buren Township, I'm sorry, before I finish asking the question, Mr. Jadala disclosed to you on the record that I'm married to an elected official in Van Buren Township. I make the disclosures. Van Buren Township is the issuing agency in this matter. My husband's not involved in the day-to-day operations of the Public Safety Department. He doesn't know anything about this case. He doesn't even know that it's scheduled. That being said, are we prepared to proceed with the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, we're prepared and continuing throughout the day, Your Honor, that would be a knowing waiver by me.
Thank you, Mr. Jadala. Ms. Newsom, is it true that on September 18, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you were operating a motor vehicle with no proof of insurance?
Yes.
And on that same date and time and location, you were operating a motor vehicle with an expired plate?
It was a cancel plate.
A plate that was not valid. How's that?
Yes.
On that same day, time, and location, that you obstructed a government function by failing to obey the commands of the officer?
Yes.
And finally, on that same date and time, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms. Manarino?
I'm just choosing number-
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala? Yeah.
I am satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court accepts your pleas on all the matters as indicated. Any comment before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, Mrs. Newsom, I've talked to her. She is remorseful for her actions that day. It was fear that set in. She understands that fear could lead to the safety of herself and other people. She does understand, Your Honor, and this activity will not be repeated.
Thank you. Ms. Newsom asked for the case that is 851, the no proof of insurance. Civil infraction is $220. The 850C civil infraction, the plate or registration violation, that fine is $150. The misdemeanor obstructing government functions, the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100, there's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. And the driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Have you since resolved your license issue, ma'am?
Yes.
$200 fine, $100 in cost, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. Ma'am, are you able to pay these amounts within the next 5 days?
Bam. What's the total?
$1,160.
Yeah, I can pay it today.
Ma'am, what you can do is you can come to the court and set a payment plan. You can go online to the court's website. There's a drop-down button. You can submit a request for a payment plan. Or you can call and speak to someone in the court's collection department and set a payment plan. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
No further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Newsom, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Okay.
Thank you. This is 230705
Name
OM.
I didn't know it.
It's the card.
Van Buren Township versus Courtney.
Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Miss Courtney. Miss Courtney, would you please say your full name for the record?
Desiree Courtney.
Oh, and I think
Thank
Angela.
you. How are we proceeding this morning, Miss Medina?
Your Honor, my understanding is Miss Manarino has attempted to confirm whether the complainant appeared today. She indicates the complainant has not appeared, and my understanding is that she was going to move to dismiss this matter, Your Honor.
I'm looking for Evie Dineski. I don't see anyone by that name. There are a few unnamed persons in the court's clerk waiting room, Miss Medina.
Okay. We can stand by, Your Honor, if you'd like, just a little longer.
If you would, for just a moment, I understand this case was scheduled at 8:30, but I want to make sure that we have everybody identified before we dismiss the case. Miss Courtney, sit tight for one moment. We need to identify a few people and I'll be right back to you, okay?
No problem.
No problem, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have several matters up today, so I'll be here. Thank you.
Mr. Hadley.
Good morning, Your Honor. We are set to go on Ronnie Days.
This is 23WM01641OM, Wayne County Airport versus Ronnie Days. Appearances, please.
James Mena for the airport, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Ronnie Days. Mr. Days, if you could take yourself off of mute and state your name for the record. Mr. Days, please take yourself off of mute if you can hear us.
Mr. Hadley.
Oh, Your Honor, I was able to speak with him in the breakout room
No,
a few
no,
moments
no.
ago.
You go ahead and proceed. We'll get Mr. Days turned on.
Very good. Your Honor, I've advised Mr. Days of his rights and have had an opportunity to speak with the people. It is Mr. Days' decision at this time to avail himself of the people's plea offer, where we would plead guilty to the disorderly person under the delayed sentencing 771.1 with an agreed upon 6-month period of probation. I believe that's accurate, Mr. Mena. Is that the 6 months? Is that what we'd said?
I'd actually give him 3, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I misstated that. My apologies to court. We would do a 3-month period.
State your name for me, please, sir. Mr. Days,
Yes,
state your name for me, please.
Ronnie Days.
Thank you. Were you able to hear Mr. Hadley just now?
Yes, we discussed everything that he just said, and
Raise
And Mr.
your
Days,
right
it's
hand for me,
gonna
please,
be-
sir.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I just want to clarify. Mr. Days, it's only going to be a 3-month period. Did you hear that?
yeah, I heard everything, and I'm still agree with everything.
Okay.
Mr. Days,
Thank
do you
Your Honor.
swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've indicated that you've discussed this matter with Mr. Hadley. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
yes,
And Mr. Hadley, explain the rights you be waiving by entering a plea of guilty this morning. That's the question, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. And after having that conversation, you wish to plead guilty as charged of being a disorderly person at the airport located in the city of Romulus.
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on September 11, 2023 at Wayne County Airport, you disrupted the orderly flow of passengers?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Mena?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Hadley?
Yes, Your Honor. And just a
Mr.
very
Days,
brief
the court accepts your
allocation.
plea of guilty as charged of being a disorderly person at the airport as indicated by Mr. Hadley. Since in this matter will be delayed for a period of 3 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay costs of $200, the case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal in 3 months. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay the $200?
Yes.
Then, Mr. Days, what you need to do is you can go online to the court's website. There's a click down button where you can submit a request for a payment plan. You can come in person and set a payment plan, or you can call the court and speak to someone in the collections department to set a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
You're free to go, Mr. Days. You have a good day.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank
And I
you.
apologize for my actions.
I
But Mr.
appreciate that,
Days-
Mr. Days. Everyone who is in this session, please understand that we have a busy morning. When the court calls your name, calls your case, be ready to state your name on the record. Attorneys, if you need to speak to prosecutors, please send a chat to either Mary Ann or to the prosecutor and be moved into their breakout room. Defendants, parties, if you see a request to join or go into a breakout room, please go there. Someone is summoning you there for a reason. It may be an attorney who needs to talk to you. It may be court staff who needs to talk to you. Please respond. That being the case, this is 23WM017870M, Wayne County Airport versus John Black. Your appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Brisa Cedrina on behalf of John Black, who's present on Zoom and consents to proceeding via Zoom this morning.
State your name, sir.
It's John Black.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe it actually, Mr. Black has not been arraigned on this matter. It was originally scheduled a little bit ago. So for purposes of the arraignment, I would just waive formal reading and he would stand mute. But with respect to the pretrial, Your Honor, I would just be asking for an adjournment. This case involves some complicated licensing issues as well, and I'd like some time to consult with my client.
Thank you. You are correct, ma'am. He was not arraigned, although someone removed the arraignment information from the scheduling. Mr. Black, your bond in this matter will be set at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until the case is resolved in its entirety. Your adjourned pretrial date will be
December 21st at 9:20.
December 21st at 9:20 a.m. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, would we be able to put that into the new year?
Give us one moment, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
January 4th at 9 o'clock with Judge Green.
Okay, thank you.
January 4th, 2024 at 9 a.m. in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Anything else on behalf of Mr. Black?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Black, good luck to you. You're free to go. You have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Ms. Manarino, were we able to confirm whether or not the complainant had appeared in 230705 OM? Ms. Courtney?
Your Honor, I don't see anyone under the complainant's name that has checked in. There are a couple of unidentified folks in the clerk's waiting room. So I don't know if the court wants to wait until those people are checked in or how the court wants to proceed.
If somebody could just go in there and ask if Evie Dineski is there. I don't want to pull 3 unidentified persons out.
What's the name, Judge? I'm sorry.
Dineski, Evie Dineski.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Give me
you.
1 second. No, Judge, there isn't anyone there by that name.
Thank you. Complainant having failed to appear, defense request to dismiss this matter is granted. That dismissal is without prejudice. Is there anything else in this matter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Courtney, you're free to go. You have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You have a good holiday.
Thank you. You too. Are we ready with Mr. Cook? Mr. Cook?
Hey, how's it going?
I've yet to speak with Mr. Cook, Your Honor.
You
This
have
isn't-
to speak with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please go into a
Is that
breakout room with
Calvin
him.
Cook?
Yes.
He's one of mine, Your Honor.
Yeah, you
I'm
have
ready on Reeves when we come back, Your Honor.
Jeff, your
Are we
co-host.
ready with Ms. Amato?
Yes, Judge.
We are, Your Honor.
23WM016810M, Wayne County Airport versus Amato.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chase Menace for the airport.
Good morning, Judge Jeffrey Abood on behalf of Julia Amato, who's present via Zoom this morning. Your Honor, I had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Mena, and I believe we've reached a resolution. We'd like the court to accept it.
Please place it on the record, sir.
Your Honor, upon the acceptance of a plea of responsible to the amended charge of double parking, payment of a $400 fine, the rules and regulations charge will be dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am. Raise your right hand for me. Unmute yourself. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to your attorney. You understand the charges you face, and you may put your hand down. Sorry.
Oh.
You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And it's your agreement, understanding.
I'm sorry, the audio just switched to.
No, I stopped talking, ma'am, because other people are talking, interrupting the docket. It's
Oh,
not you, it's somebody else. You're fine. After having the conversation with your attorney, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and the misdemeanor violation of rules and regulation will be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's how you wish to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
The court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking and will dismiss the misdemeanor. The court will impose a fine of $400. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. 5 days to pay. That concludes the matter. Is there anything else on behalf of the airport?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the defendant?
No, Judge, thank you.
Ma'am, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Mr. Abood has another case, Your Honor. Nickel.
Thank you, Mr. Mena.
Thank you.
Two 3WM01996. Wayne County Airport versus Keith Nickel.
Chase Menace for the airport, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Abood on behalf of Keith Nickel, who has given me authority to accept a plea on his behalf.
Your Honor,
And that
the
plea would be,
is responsible to double parking with a $250 fine, and the traffic signal charge would be dismissed.
does your client need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
I do not believe he does, Judge. No.
Need more than 5 days to pay, responsible to the double parking. Anything else, Mr. Mena?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Abood?
No, Judge, just for clarification, do I instruct him to go online to do that? Is that the preferred method with your court?
I don't know that it's preferred, but it's a possibility, or
Okay.
come in person.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. Thank you, Mr. Mena.
Good to see you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mary Ann, can I have Mr. Cook in?
Yep, your
room
co-host.
16? I can't move him myself.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I am, Mary.
These are 23VB02819 A and B. These are Van Buren Township versus Paul Matta. Your appearances. Mr. Batar, what are you ready with?
There, I'm ready. For Matta,
No,
Judge,
sir.
Judge, I'm ready on Nadia Harris.
Two three WM01742 A and B, Wayne County Airport versus Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Harris. He was there on Zoom. It looks like her screen is, oh, I think there she is.
Here. State your name, ma'am.
Nadia Harris.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, with respect to the arraignments, we'll waive a formal reading and stand mute, please. And we are asking for a pretrial at a later date. Mr. Mena is going to send discovery. And Mary Ann, if we could get a date in January, we would appreciate it. It's probably going to take some time to get some video.
So January 4th at 9:30.
Is that with you or with the different judge?
Judge Green.
Okay, that works. I'm her
Ms.
husband.
Harris, your next court date will be January 4th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Back on Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Court staff will mail notice to you at the address that you verify. Is there anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Harris, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Ms. Harris, I'll give you a
You're
call
welcome.
when I get a chance, okay?
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jadal, are we ready on 23VB02819 A and B Township versus Paul Matta?
Your Honor, I have not spoken to Mr. Matta. I'm ready on Sanders and Welbeck. He wasn't in the breakout room. I didn't have an opportunity to speak with him yet.
Mr. Matta, you should see a pop-up or an invitation to go into the breakout room with Mr. Jadala. Please go there with him.
okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Jadala, you said Stafford?
Sanders as well as Welbeck.
Sanders.
Yeah, as well as Welbeck.
23VB03310 A and B, A, B, and C, Van Buren Township versus Elizabeth Wallback.
Good morning.
Police Samar Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Welbeck. Ms. Welbeck, please say your name for the record.
Elizabeth Wallback.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Ms. Welbeck will be pleading to one count of no operator's license on person. The civil infraction matters are being dismissed pursuant to the plea.
Ms. Wallback, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Say one more time.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Wallbeck, is it true that on November the 9th, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person, dismiss the original charge of expired license. The two civil infractions, the equipment violation, the registration or plate violation are dismissed. Anything before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. That she's taken care of the matter. Her license is valid.
Thank you. Ma'am, there'll be a fine of $100, cost of $100. There is statutory state costs of $50, mandatory crime victim fee of $75, and fund fee of $20. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No.
5 days to pay, ma'am. You can pay online, you can pay in person, or you can mail it in. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Wallback, that concludes your matters. You're free to go. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you. Two 30853 OD Van Buren Township versus Cortez Sanders. Maybe not.
Judge, Mr. Land signed in and he said that he was appearing for Mr. Sanders.
Thank you. Two 3WM 019700M Wayne County Airport versus Richardson. State your name, ma'am.
Emmy Lou Richardson.
Ms. Richardson, the way court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Have you spoken to the prosecutor?
Yes, I have.
Did you reach an agreement with him?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Richardson, the information I have is that there will be a plea of guilty as charged to defrauding an innkeeper with a sentence delayed for 3 months and restitution to City Central of $140. Is that what you agreed to with Mr. Mena?
I believe so. He said that I had 2 weeks to pay it and show him proof and that he would dismiss it. That's what he said.
Okay, ma'am, that's different than what I have on the information he provided. So if you sit tight, I'll circle back to you when he comes out of the breakout room, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, here he is. Mr. Mena with Ms. Richardson.
Yes, Your Honor. James Mena for the airport, Your Honor. I spoke to Ms. Richardson. I've agreed and she's willing to do it, to adjourn this matter to allow her to pay the parking fee, and then that would result in a dismissal.
That new date will be
December 21st at 9:30.
Okay.
December 21st at 9:30 a.m. Ms. Richardson back here with me in courtroom number 1 on Zoom. We're adjourning it for you to make payment to the
City Central.
parking of $120 and get City Central and get that over to Mr. Mena, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Mr. Thorner,
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
this is 23 VB 032610T, Van Buren Township versus Donald Thorner III. Your appearance, sir. I'm sorry, state your name.
Donald Martin Thorner III.
Thank you, sir. The way court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Ms. Manarino?
Yeah, they said I have to come back at a later date because they haven't been able to talk to the other person yet. And I guess if they don't talk to him by then, I don't know what happens. It's been a month already, so I was just curious why that didn't happen.
The prosecutor's here. Let us have her make her record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mannering on behalf of the people. Your Honor, Mr. Thorner is correct. I am asking for an adjournment so that I can make contact with the other driver to find out if there's any restitution that she's seeking.
December 21st, Judge, at 9:30.
Mr. Thorner, inasmuch as you've waived the right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney, the court will have you stand mute to the charges against you. Set your bond at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear until this case is resolved.
Okay.
Indicate in the file that the prosecution is requesting to adjourn this matter to contact the other driver regarding any possible restitution, and the court is adjourning the pretrial portion of this case to December 21st at 9:30 a.m. That's back here on Zoom with me in courtroom number 1. Staff will mail notice to you at the address that we have verified on the record. I'm sorry, that you verified with court staff earlier. Is there anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Thorner?
So I will get a letter with a Zoom invitation again, like this one. I've never done
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, no, you're fine. It'll be back here. You'll get notice to be back here on the 21st, okay?
All right, you have a good day.
Thank you. You too, sir.
Bye.
This is 2308530D, Van Buren Township versus Cortez Sanders. Your appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mannering on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ivan Land, P65879, appearing on behalf of Cortez Sanders, who's present on the screen, Your Honor. We have no objection to holding this matter by Zoom. Your Honor, is this arraignment?
It is Mr. Lamb. Mr. Sanders, state your name for me, please, sir.
Cortez Sanders.
Thank you. Mr. Lamb, for purposes of arraignment.
We stand mute and waive the formal reading, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Have you spoken to the prosecutor?
I have, Your Honor. I was just retained on this matter, so we're asking for an adjournment so I can get discovery, go over it with my client, and we chose a date of January 4th, if that's okay with this court.
In the interim, before I'm sorry, go ahead, Mary Ann.
I'm sorry, at 9:40.
Mr. Lamb, we're setting Mr. Sanders' bond at 5,000 personal. Mr. Sanders, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. Condition of your bond is that you not possess, consume any alcoholic beverages until further order of the court. The pretrial in this matter is being adjourned over to January 4th, 2024 at 9:40 a.m. That's in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Is there anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Land?
No, but happy holidays to you and your staff, Your Honor. Always a pleasure. Take care.
Same to you. You too. Mr. Sanders, you're free to go. You have a good day, sir.
You too.
23WM 01778OM, Wayne County Airport versus Calvin Cook.
I'm ready, Your Honor. Mr. Cook, can you tell the judge your name for the record, please?
Calvin Keith Cook. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Your Honor, today's date time set for pretrial. Your Honor, Mr. Mena wishes to dismiss this case. We have no objections.
Tell them that I'm in court.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bowditch, I couldn't hear you. Mr. Menace is dismissing the case because
Your Honor, I'm not sure why. He just wishes to dismiss this case.
No. You broke up and I couldn't hear if there was a reason. The case is hereby dismissed. Mr. Cook, you're free to go. You have a good day.
Thank you. Good day to yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Thank you, Mr. Mena.
You have to fix the name actually, Teresa. Just click right there to give you a choice.
You could just leave them. There you go.
Mr. Bowditch, are you ready with Mr. Reeves?
I'm ready with Malik Reeves, Your Honor. Yes.
230738OM, Van Buren Township versus Malik Reeves.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Reeves. Your Honor, today's date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Reeves is requesting a bench trial.
Mr. Reeves, state your name for me, please.
Malik Reeves.
Thank you. The bench trial date will be?
Well, we have December 21st. That's your last date with this docket, Judge.
Is there time on that docket for this trial?
Yes, at 12 o'clock.
I thought we already had something scheduled at 12 o'clock.
Let me double check.
Thank you. Mr. Dabalski, I'm calling your cases next.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, Judge, it was at 11:30. 12 o'clock is open.
December 21st, in person at noon for a bench trial in this matter of Reeves. Is there anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves. I'll see you here on the 21st at noon. Have a good day. You're free to go.
You too.
Thank you. These are 1951870 OT and 1951860 OD. These are Van Buren Township versus Jessica Mills. Your appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mannering on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Brennan Dabalski appearing on behalf of Jessica Mills, who's present with me in my office. Ms. Mills, state your name for the record, ma'am.
Jessica Powers.
Your Honor, it was Mills at the time, but she got divorced.
Yes.
She got divorced, and it's Mills is her maiden name, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, but it was
Mills.
Excuse me. That was her former name. It's Powers now.
Yes.
I apologize. But with that being said, Your Honor, she does consent to today's hearing via Zoom. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
How are you proceeding, sir?
Your Honor, we do have a resolution. At this time, my client has indicated that she would like to avail herself of the offer, and she is going to tender a plea of no contest to the amended charge of operating a motor vehicle while visibly impaired. In exchange, the original 2 charges would be dismissed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Manarino, is that a correct statement of the agreement we made?
It is. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Powers, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. Mr. Dabalski, before I
Yes.
take your client's plea, I'm going to disclose on the record that I'm married to an elected official in Van Buren Township. I make the disclosures. Van Buren Township is the issuing agency. My husband is not involved in the day-to-day operations of the Public Safety Department. He doesn't know anything about this case. He doesn't even know that it's scheduled. That being the case, are you prepared to proceed with the plea, or do you need a moment with Ms. Powers?
No, I'm prepared to proceed, Your Honor, and I do not believe she has any objection to that. Do you have any problem with the judge taking the plea in this case?
Not at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Powers, you had the opportunity to speak to your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he explained the right you'd be waiving by entering a plea of guilty this morning to operating while visibly impaired.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you still wish to proceed that way?
Yes, Your Honor.
It would
Ma'am,
be a
is it
no
true that on
contest plea, Your
December?
Honor. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
It would be a no contest plea. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to correct that.
No, interrupt me when it's wrong, please and thank you. Ma'am, you understand that there'll be a no contest plea to the operating while visibly impaired?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts the plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind. You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And based on the fact that this is a no contest plea, ma'am, you have no objection to the fact that on December 18, 2019, Van Buren Township found you to be operating a motor vehicle while you were visibly impaired.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dabalski, do you want to place a factual basis for the plea, factual basis for the plea on the record?
Your Honor, that is fine. Did you have a question? Excuse me for 1 second, Your Honor.
So when I was in drug court, they said that you could have had it run concurrent, but all that stuff was going on, so
We can't.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Your Honor. Okay. Sure, Your Honor. We'll draw the report. If you read the report, we'll stipulate to the contents in it. The report indicates that on 12/18/2019, Ms. Mills was in Van Buren Township. She was pulled over for a citation. Ultimately, the officer, upon speaking with Ms. Mills, had indicated that there was a strong odor of intoxicants and she was slurring her words. He had to perform some field sobriety test and she was subsequently arrested. She was taken back to the Van Buren Township Police Department. She was read her chemical test rights and she consented to a breathalyzer. At that point in time, we will stipulate that the results were a 0.15 twice and that she had consumed some alcohol prior to driving and it impaired her ability to operate a motor vehicle. I am satisfied with that. Ms. Manarino, are you satisfied with that?
I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Ms. Powers, the court accepts a no contest plea to the operating while visibly impaired.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we'll send this matter to the probation department. They'll be in contact with you. They'll be in contact with you. They'll interview you. They'll develop a sentence recommendation and have you scheduled to reappear here with me for imposition of sentence. Is there anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Dabalski?
No, Your Honor. Happy holidays if I don't see you before.
Same to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Ms. Manarino.
I said it before, so I'll repeat it on the record for those of you who missed it. We have an extremely busy morning today. When your case is called and I ask for appearances, I'm asking for you to state your name for the record. Please have your video ready to be turned on. Please be ready and prepared to unmute yourself. That being the case, Mr. Bitar, what do you have ready? First case.
Daniel Bitar on behalf of Amy Gibbons, Your Honor.
Amy
Gibbons, Your Honor.
Gibbons, thank you. One 1704920T, 1704930T, 23BB, 032920M, 173749SM. All of these are Van Buren Township versus Amy Gibbons. Ma'am, state your name for the record, please. You are muted, ma'am.
Amy Mary Jo Gibbons.
Mr. Jadala, Mr. Bitar, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client is going to plead as charged to the interfering with police. That will be under 771.1 for 6 months. The failure to stop at a property damage accident will be reduced to a failure to report, and the DWLS will be dismissed.
Ms. Gibbons, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ma'am, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Bitar this morning, and it's your
Yes.
understanding and agreement that in the case that ends 492, you'll be entering a plea of guilty to the reduced count of failing to report an accident.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, it's also your understanding and agreement that the case that ends in 493, the driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied would be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And further, ma'am, that the case that ends in 292, you'll be entering a plea of guilty as charged to interfering with the police.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you understand that in each of these cases, should the court accept the pleas that were just placed on the record, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been promised anything, threatened in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Correct.
Thank you. Ma'am, in the case that ends in 492, is it true that on February 4th, 2017, in Van Buren Township, you failed to report an accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of failing to report and will dismiss the original charge of failing to stop or identify after a property damage accident and will impose the following: $100 fine, $100 cost, $75 mandatory crime victim fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There's $100 bench warrant fees, $50 late fee, and $45 clearance fee. On the case that ends in 292, ma'am, is it true that on November 5th, 2023, again in Van Buren Township, that you interfered with the police while they were engaged in their lawful and assigned duties?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea in the case that ends in 292. As indicated by Mr. Bitar, the sentence is delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay $300 in costs. The case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal at the end of that 6 months. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay the fines and costs that have been imposed in these matters?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the next thing that the court will need you to do in these matters is to either call the court's collection department and speak to someone about setting a payment plan, or come in person and do that, or go onto the court's website. There's a drop-down contact us button. You can submit your request for payment plan that way. Just so the
Okay.
record's clear too, Mary Ann, in the case that is 492, there was a bench warrant on the file. The court is recalling that warrant. And Miss Gibbons, there was a warrant in 493 as well. That warrant is being recalled. That is the case that was dismissed. And Mr. Bitar, there is one more case. There's a state case with Miss Gibbons. It's at 173749 SM at State of Michigan versus Gibbons. That's a domestic violence case that is in warrant status as well. The court will recall that warrant. Have you stand mute to the charges, ma'am. Set bond in the matter at 5,000 personal and schedule you to come back for pretrial. Mary Ann, on the 27th, could you get a time for Judge Green, please?
Yes, 1 second.
Thank you. Ma'am, this is a case from August the 9th, 2017. Again,
Okay,
in Van
I
Buren
was unaware.
Township with, I understand, ma'am, that's why we're putting it out 3 weeks.
9:30, Judge.
9:30?
Yes.
Thank you. Ma'am, this case is being reset to December 27, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. That will be on Zoom in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green, okay?
What was the day again? I'm sorry.
December the 27th?
December 27th. Okay.
Ma'am, did you confirm your address with court staff this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
They'll mail notice of that date to you at the address you verified, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Batar?
Judge, I would just ask Marianne and you both do not put my name on that case that's going to Judge Green on December 27th. House counsel in that courtroom on that day will take care of that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Ms. Gibbons.
Thank you. Happy.
These are 23VB02819 A and B, Van Buren Township versus Paul Matta.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Rigidala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Matta. Mr. Matta, please say your name for the record.
Paul Stephen Matta.
Today's the day and time set for the pretrial, final pretrial. I'm sorry, Mr. Jadala, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with the city attorney, she lets me know they are ready to proceed pursuant to the final pretrial. I've talked to my client. I've communicated the offer that's been made today. He wishes to reject the offer and exercise his constitutional right to a jury trial in this matter.
The jury trial will be our week is January 10th. 1, 2, 3. Are you available, Mr. Jadala and Ms. Manarino, on Monday, January 8th?
I'll be out of town on January 8th. I'm returning later that week, Your Honor, but I will not be in town until the 11th, to be honest with you. Up to the 10th, Your Honor, when I have your docket, the 10th.
Let's try the following week, the 19th.
I'm available then, Your Honor.
I have a felony matter on that day, Judge. I'm sorry.
I hate to do it. Is any day that week? How's the 16th look? Tuesday the 16th.
Your Honor, I could do Tuesday the 16th. Yeah, my afternoon is open, but the jury trial will be something all day, Your Honor.
That's between you and Ms. Manarino.
I don't think we'd need all day. If we could start sometime at noon, perhaps, I should be fine.
No, we'll go into Mr. Jadala. You have Mr. Matta's contact information.
I do.
What we'll do then, Mr. Matta, we'll have to work with Ms. Manarino and Mr. Jadala to schedule that jury trial date. The court is limited on the days that we are able to do it, and I need to confirm that there are no other jury trials in the building. What we'll do is schedule the jury trial. There'll be a final conference probably 3 weeks before for any final plea discussions, motion hearings, submission of witness and exhibit lists, and proposed jury instructions. Mr. Jadala will relay that information to you, and court staff will mail it to you, the notices to you in writing. But with this docket, with these 30 other people on, I can't continue to go through the docket to coordinate, but we'll coordinate something, get it to Mr. Jadala, and he'll get it to you, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further for this matter, Your Honor, no.
Thank you. We'll determine that live jury trial date. Mr. Matta, you're free to go. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Dubin, did you speak to the prosecutor regarding your client?
I did, Your Honor. We are ready to proceed.
This is 23WM 02049OM, Wayne County Airport versus Benjamin Cooper, appearances.
Change amended for the airport, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Maxwell Dubin, P number 86012 on behalf of Mr. Cooper, who appears via Zoom.
State your name, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Dubin?
Your Honor, I have got a chance to speak with the prosecution in this matter. He has agreed to dismiss this matter. My client is fully paid up. We paid the ticket, and I believe this is going to be dismissed.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. This case is hereby dismissed. Anything else, Mr. Mena?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Dubin?
No, Your Honor. I hope you and Mr. Mena have a great day and the rest of your staff. And thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. Same to you, sir. Mr. Cooper, you're free to go. You have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Halley, are you ready with something?
Yes, Your Honor, we're all set to go on Lindsay Kosh, Khosh. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that.
It's okay.
This is 23WM 01679OM, Wayne County Airport versus Lindsay Kosh. Your appearances.
Change amended for the airport, Your Honor.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Adley on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Lindsay Kosh. Ms. Kosh, please state your name for the record.
Lindsay Kosh.
Thank you. Your
How are
Honor,
we
we're hearing-
proceeding, Mr. Hadley?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're hearing a pretrial after advising my client of her rights. We have elected to avail ourselves of the people's plea offer, whereby we will be pleading guilty under MCL 771.1 to disorderly person with an agreed upon 3 months probation.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Hadley, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hadley explained the rights you'd be waiving by entering a plea of guilty this morning.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, is it true that on September 14, 2023 at Wayne County Airport, which is located in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person? More specifically, you impeded, disrupted, or harassed the orderly flow of passengers at the airport?
Correct.
Satisfied, Mr. Mena?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Hadley?
We are, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to being a disorderly person at the airport. As Mr. Hadley indicated, this plea is being taken pursuant to 771.1, delayed for a period of 3 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay costs of $200. The case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal in 3 months. Do you need more than 5 days to pay the $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, what you'll need to do after leaving the session today is either call the court's collection department, speak to someone to set a payment plan, or you can go online to the court's website. There's a contact us button. You click on that button, it'll drop down. You can submit a request for payment plan, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. These are 2308480M and 2308490M. These are both Van Buren Township versus Marcus Harris. Your appearances, please. You're muted.
I'm sorry, Judge. Attorney Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, please say your name for the record. Mr. Harris, *6 to unmute yourself and say your name for the record, please.
Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Jadala?
Senator, at this time, we're requesting a final pretrial on this matter.
The final pretrial date will be
December 21st at 9:40.
Thank you.
December 21st at 9:40 a.m. back here in number 1 on Zoom. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, you're free to go. You have a good day, sir.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to let the court know whenever we are ready on Mr. Littlejohn.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Two three zero seven zero four OD, Van Buren Township versus Christopher Littlejohn. Your appearances.
Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Littlejohn. Mr. Littlejohn, would you please say your full name for the record, sir?
Christopher Littlejohn.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Littlejohn is prepared to plead guilty to the reduced charge of impaired, that it was the offer made in this case. In exchange, they'll dismiss the original charge of high BAC. Mr. Littlejohn and I have gone over his rights that he will be giving up by availing himself of this, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Littlejohn, raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You were able to hear Ms. Medina just now. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation with Ms. Medina, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea this morning of guilty to the added count of operating while impaired, and the original charge of operating with a high BAC would be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing the rights you be waiving, sir, you'd like to enter a plea of guilty to the added count this morning?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on September 10, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle while you were impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes, ma'am.
More specifically, sir, you were operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol content of 0.172.
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms. Medina?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of operating while impaired and will dismiss the original charge of high BAC. Because this is a drinking and driving offense, Mr. Littlejohn, the next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to the probation department. They will be calling you and sending you emails. There will be forms for you to complete, an interview for you to complete before they make a sentence recommendation and send it back here, schedule you to reappear in this courtroom for sentencing, okay?
Okay.
Please respond to all of their phone calls and emails. Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Littlejohn, you're free to go. I'll see you at your sentence date. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. This is 23VB033120T Van Buren Township versus Gary Lee Williams. Appearances, please.
Respect for Your Honor, Sam Richardala, P62186. Mr. Williams, please say your name for the record.
Gary Lee Williams.
Arraignment and pretrial, Mr. Jadala.
Now, for purposes of arraignment, we waive formal reading and stand mute. For purposes of pretrial at this time, Mr. Williams would like to plead to one count of no operator's license on person.
Mr. Williams, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement this morning you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Jadala explained to you the rights you be waiving by entering that plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, is it true that on November 9, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to a no operator's license on person, will dismiss the original charge of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Anything before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing, Your Honor. He's resolved his license matter.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100, or $75 mandatory crime victim fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee is $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what I need you to do, Mr. Williams, is go online to the court's website. You can contact us. You submit a request for a payment plan. You can come in person and set a payment plan, or you can call the court's collection department and set a payment plan, okay?
Okie dokie.
Other than that, Mr. Williams, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you, sir.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 2303110 Van Buren Township versus DeMarco Browning. Mr. Browning, unmute yourself, turn your video on, state your name for the record. Mr. Browning, state your name for the record, sir.
Hi, Your Honor. DeMarco Brownie.
Sir, the way the staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Correct.
Have you spoken to Ms. Manarino, the prosecutor?
Yes.
How are we proceeding, Ms. Manarino?
Angela Manning on behalf of the people. Your Honor, I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Browning. He indicated he would like to have this matter set for a bench trial. He did indicate he'll be representing himself.
The bench trial date will be
December 21st at 12:15.
Mr. Browning, your bench trial date will be December 21st at 12:15 p.m. live here in courtroom number 1 at the 34th District Court, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Browning?
No, it's you have a wonderful day.
You have a good day, sir. You're free to go.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is 2300711 Van Buren Township versus Tanya Ostrowski. Appearances, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Rigidala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Ostrowski. Ms. Ostrowski, please say your name for the record.
Tanya Ostrowski.
Your Honor, at this time, today's the date and time set for a pretrial. At this time, Your Honor, she will be pleading as charged. She understands that as part of the plea, there's a $300 restitution that she agrees to pay.
I'm sorry, did you say $300 restitution?
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Ostrowski, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, is your understanding you'll be tendering a plea of guilty as charged to embezzlement?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the rights you're waiving by entering that plea, ma'am?
Yes.
Is it true that on August the 27th, 2023, in Van Buren Township, at the Shell station located at 7477 Rawsonville Road in Van Buren Township, you did convert to your own use, take or secret with intent to convert to your own use without the consent of the principal, money or personal property of Shell that came to your possession by virtue of you being an agent, employee, or custodian at Shell?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Ms. Manarino?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty as charged to the embezzlement. Was there anything before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, Ms. Ostrowski is both embarrassed and remorseful for her actions. She will make the victim whole, Your Honor. She's promised to, and she will comply with all terms and conditions by this court.
Thank you. Anything else on behalf of the people, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ostrowski, the court will impose a $100 fine, $100 in costs, $75 mandatory crime victim fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, and $300 in restitution to the Shell station on Rawsonville Road. That's $645, ma'am. Do you need more than 5 days to pay those amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ostrowski, what you need to do then is contact the court. You can come in person, set a payment plan. You can call and speak to someone in the collections department, or you can go onto the court's website. There's a drop-down button where you can submit a request for payment plan. Anything else, Ms. Ostrowski?
No, ma'am.
You're free to go, ma'am. You have a good day and good luck to you.
Thank you and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, you too.
And
This
Your
is
Honor,
2307920. Go ahead.
I apologize, Judge. I just wanted to know, did we do a Cortez Sanders? I did speak with him. I'm not sure if that was put on the record.
He's retained by Mr. Land. He's retained Mr. Land, Ivan Land. I called that case.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. 2307920 M Van Buren Township versus Dustin Burley.
Hello, Your Honor.
That is Mr.
Mr. Burley, it looks like your attorney is not out just yet. We'll pass the moment until Mr. Bowditch returns. This is 23WM02026OM Wayne County Airport versus Abercrombie. Appearances.
James Mender for the airport, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tiffany McEvans, P69877, on behalf of Ms. Abercrombie, who's present via Zoom and consents to have this hearing via Zoom.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Alon Abercrombie.
Thank you. Ms. McEvans, today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we've had an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor. Ms. Abercrombie has been advised of all her rights, and she would like to avail herself, to the offer that was made by the prosecutor to have this matter reduced to double parking.
That is correct, Your Honor. The fine would be $400.
Thank you.
And the
Ms.
item
Abercrombie,
destroyed.
you have,
I'm sorry, Judge, and the item would be destroyed that was seized.
thank you. Ms. Abercrombie, you've had the opportunity to speak to your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and that the checkpoint violation would be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's how you wish to resolve the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking. Will impose a fine of $400 and the notation that the item seized will be destroyed. Do you need more than 5 days to pay the $400, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
5 days to pay. Anything else, Ms. McEvans?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. Ms. Abercrombie, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Medina, what are you ready with, ma'am?
Ready with Mr. Green, Your Honor.
I have a couple of greens. What's his first name, please?
Montreal.
Montreal, thank you.
Thank you.
These are 21WM02695OM, 23WM01909, AOT 23WM01909, B 23WM01910, 23WM01908. These are all Wayne County Airport versus Montreal Green. May I have your appearances, please?
James Mender for the airport, Your Honor.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Green. Mr. Green, would you please say your full name for the record, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's Montreal Green.
Thank you. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we are requesting adjournment of the pretrial. We are in receipt of discovery. I received it via mail yesterday afternoon, and so we need some time to go over that, Your Honor.
How much time, Ms. Medina?
Your Honor, if we could have until I'll be out for approximately 2 weeks at the end of the year. I was hoping for the second week of January, Your Honor, if at all possible.
January 18th at 9:10.
Thank you.
January 18th at 9:10, Mr. Green, that will be in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom. Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're free to go, Mr. Green. Have a good day. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. This is 23WM02087OM, Wayne County Airport versus Christian Olson. Your appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Mender for the airport.
And good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Mitch Moldovan on behalf of the defendant, Christian Olson, who was here a second ago. I'm not sure where he went.
Then Mr. Moldovan will pass this matter momentarily until your client reappears. There's still some earlier cases that are waiting.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This is 23 VB 03285 A and B. These are A, B, and C. These are Van Buren Township versus Darcel Brooks.
Angela Manning on behalf of the people.
Anthony Green, Your Honor, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brooks. He is in my office with me. And Mr. Brooks, can you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, I'm Darcel Brooks.
Thank you. Mr. Green, today's the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we are going to waive the formal reading, and we're going to, Mr. Brooks is going to stand mute on the charges. And I've already spoken with the prosecutor. She's indicated that she's amenable to an adjournment to January the 4th.
That's correct, Your Honor.
At 9:50, Judge.
Thank you. Then, Mr. Green, what we'll do is we'll set Mr. Looking and see if there's any recommendation from the people. I don't see one. Mr. Brooks, your bond in this matter is set at $5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety. Your next appearance date will be January 4th, 2024 at 9:50 a.m. That will be in courtroom number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Is there anything else, Mr. Green?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you. Nice seeing you again, Your Honor.
Good to see you, Mr. Green.
Yeah.
This is 23 VB 03252 OM, Van Buren Township versus Tracy Stafford. Your appearances.
Angela Manning on behalf of the people.
Ms. Stafford, who did you speak to? Do you recall?
I do not remember her name.
Her, so it's Miss Medina.
Your Honor, I have not spoken with Ms. Stafford. I think
Ms. Stafford, have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure if she's referring to the clerk, Your Honor. I'm not sure. I did not speak with Ms. Stafford.
I don't, maybe it's the clerk. She said that she was going to ask for it to be adjourned so that they can get discovery. I'm not sure what the lady's name was.
Okay. Ms. Stafford, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you want to speak to one of the court-appointed attorneys. The only female court-appointed attorney this morning is Ms. Medina, who just said that she did not speak with you.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't speak with her. Her hair was not in a ponytail. It was down.
Did you hear what I just said, though, regarding the female attorneys who are available to speak to court-appointed cases?
I hear you, but it sounds like I'm being
Okay.
a liar, and I'm not being a
No,
liar.
no,
so I
no,
would
Ms.
like to find out who it
Stafford,
was.
no, ma'am, I'm not suggesting that you're being a liar. What I'm saying is, I asked that you speak to an attorney because it says that you want to speak to a court-appointed attorney. The only court-appointed attorney that's a female is Ms. Medina, who says she didn't speak to you. So before we proceed with your case, I want to be sure that you've had the opportunity to speak to an attorney if you want to. You don't have to, but I don't want to short circuit your
definitely
right
do.
to have that representation.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't hear you when I'm talking, you're talking. So what was it that you just said, ma'am?
I said, yes, ma'am. And I've been waiting for you to finish. I'm having a lot of troubles with this phone. I got kicked out the court earlier. And I don't know what's going on. I had to call the courthouse. I don't know. But I do want to speak with somebody again.
Okay, then Miss Stafford, what we'll do is we'll get you moved into a breakout room to speak to someone.
All right.
When you
that's where
come
I was
back
just at.
out, I'll call the case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. This is 23WM02097OM, Wayne County Airport versus Robert Felix. Your appearance, please.
James Bennett for the airport, Your Honor.
Robert Felix, Your Honor.
Mr. Felix, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Minna, the prosecutor from the airport?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Mr. Minna, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Felix. He wishes to avail himself of the plea offer, which is that he would plead guilty to the checkpoint violation, bringing a firearm through the checkpoint. That would be taken pursuant to 771.1 for a period of 3 months. Upon the terms and conditions would be to pay his fines, not pick up any new charge. At the end of that 3-month period, the charge would be dismissed and firearm could be returned to him.
Mr. Felix, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Minna, and you heard everything he just placed on the record.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you understand the rights you're waiving by entering a plea of guilty this morning to the checkpoint violation.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's still how you wish to proceed, sir.
Please, thank you very kindly.
Mr. Felix, is it true that on November 11, 2023 at Wayne County Airport, which is located in the city of Romulus, you committed a checkpoint violation by taking a firearm through security?
Yes.
Mr. Felix, the court will accept your plea of guilty as charged to checkpoint violation. As indicated by the prosecutor, the plea is taken pursuant to 771.1, which means the sentence will be delayed for a period of 3 months. Sir, as long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay costs of $900, the case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal, and you may request a return of the firearm from the airport police. Do you need more than 5 days to pay the $900?
No, Your Honor.
5 days to pay, 90 days of no new criminal cases. The case will be dismissed and you may seek the retrieval of the firearm. Is there anything else, Mr. Felix?
No, ma'am. Will I get the notification of how to pay the fine? Will I get an email
You
or
can
something?
pay the fine online. When you go onto the court's website, you can type in your case number. You can call or you can bring it into the court. I know you're in Toledo, but that's not too far.
Yep. No, I'll take care of it online. Thank you very kindly.
Have a good day, Mr. Felix.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Mann.
you. This is
I'm free to
a
leave.
recall of 23WM02087, Wayne County Airport versus Olson. Your appearances, please.
James Mena for the airport, Your Honor.
And good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Mitch Moldovan on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Olson, who is also present via Zoom.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Kristen Richard Olson.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. Today is a day and time scheduled for the arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding, Mr. Moldovan?
Your Honor, we'd ask for the court to enter a not guilty plea and allow us time for discovery. I spoke with Mr. Mena earlier regarding this.
Thank you. And in the interim, Mr. Olson, your bond will be set at 1,000 personal. Sir, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until such time as this matter is resolved in its entirety. We will adjourn the pretrial date to
December 21st at 9:40.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I will see you back on Zoom on that date and time. Anything else, Mr. Mena?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Moldovan?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Olson, you're free to go. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
Yep. Thanks,
You
everyone.
too. Miss Burke, have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
No, ma'am.
I've tried to get move her around and chat. I'm getting no response.
I no, ma'am, I didn't.
Ma'am, my secretary is indicating that she's invited you to go into a breakout room to speak to one of the court-appointed attorneys. Please go there and talk to them so that your case may be called, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr.
Thank you.
McLean, let me get your file.
Okay, how do I do that?
I just saw him. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
This is 2207950D. This is Van Buren Township versus Mark McLean. State your name for me, sir.
Mark McLean.
Sir, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Have you had the chance to speak to Ms. Manarino, the prosecutor, this morning?
Yes, I just spoke to her. Excuse me.
Ms. Manarino, how are we proceeding in this case?
Your Honor, I had the opportunity to speak with the defendant. He indicates that he would like to have the matter set for a bench trial and that he will be representing himself.
Mr. McLean, we're going to need a moment to get a time because we are full up on December the 21st and this court comes off of the Van Buren docket. We would need to be on another judge's case, on another judge's docket to be able to do that bench trial. Mary Ann's going to take a moment to get a time from Judge Green. Secretary, I'm going to step off the bench for one moment, Ms. Manarino, but I'll be right back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Mary Ann?
Hey, this isn't Mary Ann, but after the court, will we be able to talk?
Yeah, I'll give you a call, Mr. Burley.
Thank you.
Yes, Jeff.
Mary Ann, I'm back. I apologize. I had to run away for a minute, do an arraignment with Al, Judge Inman. I need a room with Miss Pringle if I could.
Yep, you're a co-host.
Let me try that again.
Mr. McLean, that will be 11:30 on January 4th, 2024. In person here in courtroom number 1. Notice will be mailed to you at the address that you verify with court staff, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
No, Your Honor.
You're free to go, sir. Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thanks, you as well.
This is 2307660 OM Van Buren Township versus Hampton. Your appearances, please.
Angela Manarino on behalf of the people.
Trayvon Hampton.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of with Mr. Hampton. Your Honor, I need to go into a breakout room with Mr. Hampton.
Absolutely. Mr. Hampton, you're going to see invitation to go into a breakout room with Mr. Bowditch. Please meet him there.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm
Thank you.
also ready on Mr. Burley, Your Honor.
Thank you. When you come back out.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bowditch, stay here for one moment. Mr. Haley, I will take that plea of Gresham after we get done with Burley 230792. Van Buren Township versus Dustin Burley, appearances, please.
Angela
Your
Marion,
Honor.
people.
On the record, Your Honor, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of Mr. Burley. Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment in this matter. A little bit of discovery Ms. Manarino and I have to share.
Mr. Burley, state your name for me, please.
Dustin Burley.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Put
if
this
we could
matter
have-
over to the January. Go ahead,
if
Mr.
we could
Bowditch.
have- If we could have a January date, Your Honor, Mr. Burley just suffered the loss of his father. He's going to have to be making arrangements. We're requesting something in January.
Mr. Burley, let me offer my condolences on the loss of your father, sir.
Thank you so much.
We'll put this matter over to the January 4th, 2024 docket in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom at
9:50.
at 9:50. Mr. Burley, notice of that date and time will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning, okay?
Could I write it down real quick? January 24th?
No, January 4th,
Oh, January 4th. Okay.
2024, which is giving the year, sir, at 9:50 a.m., 9:50 a.m., okay?
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Good luck to you and your family, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Burley. I'll call
Thank
you.
you. In 23WM013850T, Wayne County Airport versus Gresham.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Attorney
morning,
Josh
Mr.
Hadley,
Hadley.
appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Terrence Gresham. I believe Mr. Minna is joining us.
Was there something
can
else
fill
you were
you-
ready with?
Yeah, I can fill you in on kind of what's going on, Your Honor. This matter was originally was set for trial today, a bench trial at 12 p.m. I can let the court know the trial will not be going forward. We will be availing ourselves of the people's plea offer to a reduced civil infraction of double parking. Now, I know that this is a civil infraction, and I do have my client's authorization to enter said plea. I don't know if this court would be able to accept it without him on Zoom yet. He's stuck
I
in
am.
traffic.
That's why I asked you, Mr. Hadley. Let's go. Plea of
Excellent.
responsible and the fine of,
It'd be $250 is the agreed upon fine, Your Honor.
does he need more than 5 days to pay?
Your Honor, I will go ahead and request that. I didn't cover that specifically with him. I'm going to advise him to make contact with the court later today to get the payment plan set up, if not paid in full.
I'll waive your client's appearance, Mr. Hadley. Take your representation as an officer of the court that you have his full authority to enter a plea of responsible to the double parking, dismiss the registration or plate violation, assess a fine of $250 and give him 14 days. If he needs more than that, then he'll need to contact the court, okay?
100% understood. I'm relaying the message to my client right now. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Mr. Uh-oh. 230852OM. Van Buren Township versus Tia Jackson. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, please 62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Jackson. Your Honor, Ms. Jackson, please say your name for the record.
Tia Jackson.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stay mute. For purposes of pretrial at this time, Mrs. Jackson will be pleading to one count of disorderly conduct. The open and intox matter is being dismissed. She understands the right she is waiving by taking the plea.
Ms. Jackson, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to being a disorderly person?
Yes.
And Mr. Jadala explained to you the rights you'd be waiving by entering such a plea?
Yes.
And that's still what you wish to do this morning?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on October 25th, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you were a disorderly person? More specifically, ma'am, that you did make improper noise cause a disturbance or you engage in some other improper diversion in Van Buren Township.
Yes.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to being a disorderly person and dismiss the open intoxicant vehicle. Anything before fines and costs are imposed, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, looking back at it, Ms. Jackson understands that it's a situation that probably could have been handled different. She understands that now that she reflects on it, she apologizes, and we just ask for minimal costs and fines.
The court will impose minimal costs and fines in this matter, Ms. Jackson, so $100 in costs, $100 fine, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Absolutely you do. There is no one from the court's collection department on this morning, ma'am. What you can do is you can come in person, you can set a payment plan, you can call the court and speak to someone in the collections department, or you can go onto the court's website. There's a drop-down contact us button where you can submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
All right, I'm sorry, you did say that total was $345?
$345, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Jackson?
No, that's it. Just again, I'm apologetic and thank you so much.
I appreciate that, ma'am. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
You too, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm also
Thank
ready.
you. This is 2-3.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Jala.
I was ready on Miss Tracy Stafford, Your Honor.
Ms. Stafford.
I'm present.
I know, Ms. Stafford, I'm sorry. I just had to grab the file. 23VB032520M, Van Buren Township versus Stafford. Appearances.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardella, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Stafford. For purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. And at this time, Ms. Stafford is respectfully requesting a pretrial. Ms. Stafford, please say your name for the record, please.
Tracy Stafford.
Ms. Stafford, the court is setting a bond in this matter at $1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until such time as this matter is resolved in its entirety. I don't see the prosecutor in this main session right now, but ma'am, typically a condition of the bond is that you not have contact with the complainant, in this case, the person that's alleging this malicious use
We have no objections
of
to no
telephone.
contact.
Thank you. And ma'am, we'll reset your pretrial to
January 4th at 10 o'clock.
January 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. That will be in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Notice of that new date and time and Zoom ID will be sent to you at the address you verified with the court staff this morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That concludes this matter. Ms. Stafford, you're free to go. You have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you. This is 23WM021120M, Wayne County Airport versus Gary Green. May I have your appearance, please?
James Mena for the airport, Your Honor.
And good morning, Your Honor. Eric Pruning on behalf of Mr. Green, P79467.
Mr. Green, state your name for me, sir.
Gary Green.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client will stand mute, waive the formal reading of the charges for the purposes of arraignment. And we did have a pretrial, Your Honor. And if we could get another pretrial date so the prosecutor and I can have further discussions with a possible resolution.
In the interim, we'll set your client's bond at $1,000 personal. Mr. Green, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until such time as this matter is resolved in its entirety. The adjourned pretrial date will be
January 4th at 10 o'clock.
January 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. That will be by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Notice of that new date, time, and the Zoom ID information, Mr. Green, will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning, okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day. You're free to go.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 21 WM 01458OM Wayne County Airport versus Amy Johnson. Your appearance, please.
James Bennett for the airport, Your Honor.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Johnson, Your Honor.
Unmute yourself, please, Ms. Johnson. State your name for me.
Amy Johnson.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, with respect to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading, stand mute, please. We're asking for a pretrial at a later date. Mr. Mena is going to send me discovery and try and get some video.
January 4th at 10 o'clock, Judge.
Thank you. January 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Ms. Johnson, that will be in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom. Notice of that new date and time will be sent to you at the address you verified with court staff. I'll make a note that you already posted a bond of $150 with the court staff. Is there anything else, Mr. Mena?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
What was that time again, Judge?
10 a.m., sir.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson,
Ms.
I will
Johnson,
give you
you're
a
free
call.
to go. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just telling Ms. Johnson, I'll give you a call before that next court date. Okay, Ms. Johnson?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Good luck to you, Ms. Johnson.
Bye-bye.
These are 23VB 03366 A and B, 23VB 03326 A and B and C. These are Van Buren Township versus Darlene Jett. Your appearances, please.
Angela Manarino on behalf of the people.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Jett, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please.
Darlene Jett.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment, pretrial, and pre-hearings in these matters. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we will waive a formal reading, stand mute on all matters.
For purposes of pretrial, sir.
Your Honor, we're asking for a pretrial at a later date. Ms. Manarino is going to send me some discovery orders.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. In the interim, Ms. Jett, your bond will be set at $3,000 personal. You don't need to post any money. But what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until these matters are resolved in their entirety. Your pretrial date will be reset to January 4th, 2024 at
10:20.
At 10:20 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green, and staff will mail notice of that new date and time to you at the address you verified this morning, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Jett, I'll call you before that next court date.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This is 23WM 02077OM Wayne County Airport versus Gregory Moore. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. David Gakassian for Gregory Moore. Mr. Moore, can you unmute yourself? Turn on
Yes,
your.
can you hear me?
And state your name. Yes, we can hear you.
Gregory Allen Moore.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Mena this morning. Mr. Mena is going to amend the charge of dangerous weapon to double parking. I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Moore about this reduction to a civil infraction. He is prepared to plead responsible to the amended civil infraction of double parking with a $400 fine.
Mr. Moore, turn your video on for me, please, sir.
Oh.
And raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You had the opportunity to discuss this case with your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, and the checkpoint violation misdemeanor will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And your attorney explained to you the rights you be waiving by entering this plea.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, you still wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, dismiss the checkpoint violation misdemeanor. Was there any conversation with Mr. Mena regarding the fine assessed for the double parking, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, it was a $400 fine.
$400?
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Moore, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, Your Honor.
5 days to pay, the misdemeanor is dismissed. Is there anything else on behalf of your client, sir?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, thank you for your patience this morning. You're free to go. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a good holiday, Judge. Thank you.
You too, thank you. This is a recall of 2307660M, Van Buren Township versus Hampton.
Angela
Right,
Maynard.
Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of with Mr. Hampton. Mr. Hampton, could you tell the court your name for the record, please?
Trayvon Hampton.
Thank you. Your Honor, I still need to pick up a little bit of discovery in this matter. We're requesting an adjournment.
That adjourned date will be January the 4th, 2024 at
10:20.
10:20 a.m. That will be in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Mr. Hampton, court staff will mail notice of that date and time to you at the address you verified with the clerks. Is there anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Hampton, you're free to go. January 4th with Judge Green. Have a good day. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
Thank
I'll be
you.
in touch.
Ms. Burke, have you spoken to the prosecutor in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did, Ms. Martin.
You have spoken to Mr. Mena. When he comes back out, I'll call the matters. We'll get you heard this morning.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, jury trial date. Better circle back to that. Take your hat off for me, sir.
Hair's a little messy, but
Thank you. Hey, that's the least of our problems this morning.
yes, it is.
Sir, did you have a chance to speak to the prosecutor from the airport?
Yes, I did.
He's in with someone else right now. When he comes out, there's one case ahead of you, then I'll get you called and get you on with your day, okay?
Alrighty, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. How in the world did I just lose a file? Mr. Hadley, are you with Miss Brown?
I'm not, Your Honor. What's the first name?
Chloe? Miss Brown, have you spoken to one of the court-appointed attorneys this morning?
Yes, I have.
Okay. When they come out of the breakout rooms, I'll recall the case.
Okay.
Mr. Hadley,
Thank you.
did we resolve Gresham yet or no?
Yes, we did, sir. The $250 double parking has been entered in the record. Mr. Gresham's going to contact the court to make payment.
All right, I'm gonna let the PD know. Thank you. Sorry, Judge.
No, Mr. Mena, I need you to stay because this is 23WM01128, Wayne County Airport versus Burke. Your appearances, please.
For the record, Your Honor, James Mena appearing on behalf of the airport.
State your name for me, ma'am.
Yes, Lanicia Burke.
Ms. Burke, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Mena, the prosecutor from the airport this morning?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Mena, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we're going to ask the court to adjourn this to allow her to pay the parking fee and provide proof.
Ms. Burke, we are resetting your arraignment and pretrial to allow you an opportunity to make payment to the innkeeper. The Blue Deck parking, $160. Your new arraignment and pretrial date will be
January 4th, Judge, at 10:30.
January 4th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. That will, I'm sorry?
You said January the 8th?
January 4th at 10:30 a.m. in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom.
Okay, now.
Notice will be mailed to you, Ms. Burke, at the address we have on file, okay?
Yep, but do I pay the ticket first and then I'll be fine, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Pay the ticket, get proof of the payment to Mr. Mena, and he'll let the court know the case needs to be dismissed.
Okay, now will you be able to send me information on where to pay the ticket at and where to send the proof to?
Go back into Mr. Mena's breakout room. He'll be there in just a moment and he'll give you that information, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. Are all of them down?
Mr. Mena, before you go, what was the fine on Martin again? Did you say 200 or 400?
4.
Thank you.
Why are you in here bringing down the property value? What's up?
2 seconds. We think we have a solution. Yeah. We may have.
Let me do Mr. Harrington so he can go back in with, so Mr. Mena can go do what he needs to do. These are 23WM02084 A and B. These are Wayne County Airport versus James Harrington. Your appearances?
James Mena for the airport, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrington, state your name for the record for me, please, sir. Mr. Harrington?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
State your name, sir. Thank you. We had the conversation before Mr. Mena came back. Sir, you're waiving the right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning?
Yes.
Mr. Mena, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Harrington. He is going to plead guilty to the reduced charge of no operator's license on person. If that plea is accepted, we'll dismiss the driving while license suspended as well as the defrauding innkeeper.
Mr. Harrington, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Mena this morning. You understand the rights you're waiving by entering the plea of guilty to no operator's license on person.
Yes, I do.
And that's still what you wish to do this morning to resolve this case?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington, you understand that if the court accepts your plea, you will not have a trial of any kind, and you will not have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
Mr. Harrington, is it true that on November the 9th, 2023, at Wayne County Airport, which is located in the city of Romulus, you were operating a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
I said yes.
Yes, thank you. That sounds so much better. Mr. Harrington, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person, dismiss the original charge of driving while license suspended. Have you since resolved your license issue, sir?
Not immediately, but I am currently working on it right now.
Do you know where you need to go to fix whatever's wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Sir, that being the case, the court again has accepted your plea to no ops. Will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Then what I need you to do, Mr. Harrington, you can come in person. You can speak to a member of the court staff to set a payment plan. You may call and speak to the collections department, or you can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. It'll drop down. You can submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Harrington?
Nope, that'll be it. I appreciate everything.
Thank you. That resolves this matter. You have a good day. To the people who are in this main session, sit tight for just one moment.
Yes.
that literally bring down property value. This is Mr. Miller. So I know you had made up, yes, you had made I guess, you acknowledged, yeah, that he had, that he had previously been convicted, well, had guilty to, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you had a trial. But in that one, it was a
different
ATV
issue. So
at
this
midnight.
is more than
That's
what
the-
both major judge were able to take this for him to work with his vehicles. We're gonna test this out until April. And if Mr. Miller behaves himself, he'll get dismissed. There's no plea or anything at this point. But hopefully that will allow some of the other things to resolve themselves in the end.
Mr. Miller behaved himself.
Yes, if we
We basically wanted to do like a diversion, yeah, like a diversion situation where like, hey, if they can manage to get along, he's not gonna have another misdemeanor conviction. Because I just truly, the neighbors just like, this is crazy. Okay, fair. He was going to be here in person for the bench trial. And I was gonna call him if we were gonna do the adjournment and have him zoom in.
And if we could just do like a review date and have, you know.
What I want to do is put it on our probation docket for April Fool's Day. Do it like today. And we'll call it more of a review.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll,
I think that works.
we'll adjourn it, we'll call it a review. Set the cutoff date for that kind of work to 7 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we've
And
just
then
been trying to
Because-
come up with a
because if they
resolution.
have kids-
She did not go karaoke with all the
Last
judges.
episode.
I went to karaoke. I was standing up.
You went to
here.
karaoke last night?
Which one?
Someone was at doctor's. Okay,
Hey,
so we're good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 'cause we're- yes,
okay,
yes.
so, yes,
Thank you, Judge.
thank you. So April Fools.
Thank you. My apologies, Mr. Bitar, Mr. Bowdish, Ms. Brown. Everyone on the screen, which is trying to resolve a trial that's scheduled for later this morning. With that being the case, everyone being present, this is 23VB 0333330M, Van Buren Township versus Chloe Brown. Your appearances, please.
Hello.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richard Dollar, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Brown. Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment, we waive from the reading and stand mute. At this time, Ms. Brown will be pleading to one count of retail fraud under 771.1 for 6 months. Ms. Brown, please say your name.
Chloe Brown.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jadala, did you say 6 months?
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
I'm not sure what all the penalties are.
Ma'am, do you understand that you've been charged with a misdemeanor?
Yes.
And after having that conversation with Mr. Jadala, ma'am, you wish to waive your rights this morning to have a trial in this matter and enter a plea of guilty to the sole count in this matter of retail fraud.
Yes, I've been advised to plead guilty to the groceries, yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I am not really sure what the trial is.
Oh, Ms. Brown, okay. If you plead guilty this morning, you will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses that the prosecution may have.
Okay, then I'll plead guilty.
Ma'am, you understand that, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
I think that's the best option.
Ms. Brown, have you been threatened in some way or promised something to get you to plead guilty?
No, I'm just going to plead guilty. I don't know. I'm just going to plead guilty.
Okay, Ms. Brown, it is not this court's habit to take pleas from people who do not understand what's going on or have questions about the process. If you need to speak to Mr. Jadala for more explanation, we can put you back into a breakout room, or if you have some specific questions, we'll try to address them. So what's the issue?
No, there's no issue. Yeah, I'm going to plead guilty.
Ma'am, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Brown, is it true that on November 13, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you went into the Meijer located at 9701 Belleville Road, a store that was open to the public, and you took items from the shelf totaling $92.82, and you passed all points of payment without making payment for those items?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the retail fraud in this matter. As indicated by Mr. Jadala, this plea is taken pursuant to 771.1, which means that it's delayed, sentence is delayed for a period of 6 months. Ma'am, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses, which means no new crimes in the state of Michigan for the next 6 months, and you pay costs of $200, the case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay the $200?
No, I can pay it right now.
It won't be right now. It'll probably take 10 or 15 minutes for my secretary to put the plea information into the file, and then you can make payment at the counter downstairs, right outside that door to your left. Is there anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further from Ms. Brown. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Brown?
No.
Ma'am, you're free to exit out that door to your left. Again, the file will be downstairs momentarily, like I said, about 10 minutes or so, and you can make payment with the clerks at the counter, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Good luck to you, Ms. Brown.
Great, thanks.
This is 23WM02072OM Wayne County Airport versus Martin. Your appearances, please.
James Mena for the airport, Your Honor.
Daniel Batera on behalf of Ms. Martin, Your Honor.
Khadija Martin here.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Martin is going to plead responsible to double parking, stipulated fine of $400.
Ms. Martin, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, is your understanding and agreement that you will be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count?
How are you? Oh, I'm sorry.
To the added count of double parking and the misdemeanor of the abandoned personal property will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Batar, explain to you the rights you be waiving by entering the plea this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, you still wish to plead responsible to the double parking and pay the fine of $400?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the double parking, dismiss the misdemeanor matter, assess a fine of $400. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, could she have 30 days? She said she'll be able to pay within 30. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
30 days to pay. Anything else, Ms. Martin?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. You have a good day. You're free to go.
You as well.
While Ms. Martin was talking, someone called out to me. Who was that person? We don't know? Okay. These are 23VB03331 A, B, and C. These are Van Buren Township versus Jamira Truitt.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Rajala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Truitt. For purposes of arraignment, Your Honor, we waive formal reading and stand mute. This time, respectfully requesting the pretrial. Ms. Truitt, please say your name for the record.
Jamira Truitt.
Turn your video on, Ms. Truitt. The court will set your bond in these matters, ma'am, at $1,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until these matters are resolved in their entirety. That adjourned pretrial date will be
January 4th at 10:30.
January 4th at 10:30 a.m. That will be in number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Anything? Thank you. Ms. Truitt, you're free to go. You have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
This is 23VB030490I Van Buren Township versus Cruz. Tomazic, your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mandarino on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Raj Shatari appearing on behalf of the defendant, Cruz Tomosic.
Unmute yourself and state your name for me, please, sir.
Cruz Tomosic.
Thank you. Have you had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Mandarino this morning?
I have, Your Honor.
Are we proceeding with the formal hearing this morning, sir?
No, Your Honor. I believe Mrs. Mandarino and I've come to a resolution.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're moving to amend the original citation to double parking with an agreed upon fine of $200.
And sir, before I take your client's plea in this matter, I want to disclose to you on the record that I'm married to an elected official in Van Buren Township. I made that disclosure as Van Buren Township is the issuing agency. My husband is not involved in the day-to-day operations of the Public Safety Department. He doesn't know anything about this case. He doesn't even know that this case is scheduled. Do you need the opportunity to speak with your client, or are you prepared to proceed with the plea?
No, Your Honor. We're prepared to proceed with the plea.
Thank you. Mr. Tomazic, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to speak to your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wish to accept the offer to plead responsible to double parking and have the failing to yield dismissed.
Yes.
And you're doing so freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible.
No.
Is it true that on October 9, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Sir, would you like to inquire any further of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Mandarino?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking, will impose fines of $200. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You may pay in person, you may pay or online. Have a good day. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Officer Trump.
Your Honor, I had a Mr. Obush, O-B-U-C-H.
2308380M Van Buren Township versus John Obush.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Obush. Your Honor, Mr. Obush has logged in twice. I've spoken to him. He's requesting a final pretrial. I don't see him in any of the breakout rooms. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure the clerks and I will let you know that he did show up. We did have a talk, and that's what he's asking for.
That final pretrial date where the complainant must appear will be set on January 4th, 2024 at
10:30.
At 10:30. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. This is 2307490D Van Buren Township versus Jasmine Pringle.
Ready, Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Ms. Pringle. Ms. Pringle, could you tell the judge your name for the record, please?
Jasmine Pringle.
Your Honor, thank you, ma'am. Today is the date and time set for arraignment, Your Honor. Waive formal reading, stand mute. We've also had a chance to pre-try this case, Your Honor. At this time, Ms. Pringle wishes to plead guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated.
Ms. Pringle, raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Bowdish, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, ma'am, you wish to plead guilty as charged to operating while intoxicated.
Yes.
And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Correct.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Correct.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Correct.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on September 3rd, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle while you were intoxicated?
Yes.
More specifically, ma'am, you were operating a motor vehicle while you had a blood alcohol content of 0.127.
Yes.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to operating while intoxicated. Because this is a drinking and driving offense, you will be referred to the court's probation department where they will have you complete certain forms and interview you. They will develop a sentence recommendation and have you scheduled to come back here for sentence to be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Ma'am, they will be, again, emailing you and calling you. Please respond to their efforts at contact so that we can get you back here for sentencing. Other than that, that concludes this matter. You're free to go. Ms. Pringle, I will see you. Excuse me, I will see you at sentencing.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
I
Pringle.
just saw you're welcome. I just saw Mr. Obush pop back in. Oh,
He's in with
this
Grace.
is 2-3. I'm sorry?
He's in with Grace. Do you want me to pull him out?
I see him. Let her verify his information, and when he comes out, I'll just give him the new date with Judge Green. This is 23VB03330T Van Buren Township versus John Tony. May I have your appearance, please?
Yes. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Tony, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir.
John Leonard Tony Jr.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Tony is going to plead guilty to no operator's license on person.
Mr. Tony, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you will be entering a plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person, the original charge will be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand, sir, that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on November 15, 2023 in Van Buren Township, you operated a motor vehicle without an operator's license on your person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person. Anything before fines and costs are imposed?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
Sir, the court will impose a fine of $100. There's costs of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state costs and $20 fund fee. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
5 days to pay and the matter will be resolved, sir. Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Tony. You have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Obush.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
we are ready on Mr. Moyo whenever the court is ready, and Mr. Miller did come in person, so he is here with me and he'll be on screen with me for his case.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And we also had a Deanna Jordan, which we were just going to adjourn. And I think when she left the breakout room, she may have left the entire session. I don't know if she's come back.
Thank you. This is 230691OD. This is Van Buren Township versus Delani Moyo. Your appearances?
Yes, Your Honor.
Angela Manner on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Moyo. Mr. Moyo, would you please say your full name for the record, sir?
Talani Falco Jason Moyer.
Thank you. Ms. Medina, this case is scheduled for pretrial today. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I would ask that the court adjourn this matter to the January 18th pretrial date. We are in receipt of discovery. However, Ms. Manarino and I are going to discuss the matter further and the discovery provided so far, Your Honor.
Thank you. January 18th at
9:10.
at 9:10 a.m. That will be on Zoom with Judge Green. Sir, notice of that new date and time will be mailed to you at the address you verify with court staff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I
Thank
may
you.
address Christmas holiday travel, Mr. Moyo was hoping to travel between the dates of approximately December 15th through January 10th or 11th. He plans to travel to the Netherlands, Africa, and England, Your Honor. We would ask the court if he is able to do so.
Any objection, Ms. Manarino?
None, Your Honor.
The defendant may travel, was it December 15th through January 10th? Ms. Medina, did I understand that correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moyo, you may travel within those dates, sir. Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Moyo, you're free to go. You have a good day, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I believe my responsibilities are over. With the court's permission, I'm going to leave the meeting.
Absolutely, Mr. Bowditch. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have an unrelated matter to ask Mary Ann about. It's
You want to go
unrelated
into a
today's
breakout room
docket.
with her, or are you going to ask it on the record, sir?
I can meet with the breakout room if that's easier.
I'll meet you, Josh. Wherever you want to go, I'll follow you.
Let's go to 12.
Johansson?
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm super. Why are you in our breakout room?
I have no idea. I have a formal at 11:15.
Thank you. Mr. Obush, your case was already called, sir. It's been adjourned to January the 4th at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, internet keeps me off. I've been talking to the clerk and I don't know why.
I can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? Talking to the clerk, but it keeps kicking me off the internet for some reason. And then I have to keep rejoining. And then as soon as I rejoin and talk to her, it kicks me back off.
You're fine, Mr. Obuck. We took care of the case. Like the judge told you, January 4th is going to be your new court date at 10:30. We'll send you notice, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
This is 23WM021320M, Wayne County Airport versus Taja Brown Stewart. Your appearance, please.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richard Dollop, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Brown Stewart.
James Mann on behalf of the airport, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, to be pleading guilty to one count of disorderly person, Your Honor, under 771.1 for 3 months. Ms. Brown Stewart, please say your name for the record.
My name is Taja Brown Stewart.
Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes,
And ma'am, after having that conversation, you wish to plead guilty as charged to being a disorderly person.
yes,
I'm sorry, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes,
Thank you. You may put your hand down. And ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning of being a disorderly person, you will not have a trial of any kind.
yes,
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
yes,
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
yes,
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
no,
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
yes,
Ma'am, is it true that on November 15, 2023 at Wayne County Airport, just located in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person? More specifically, you were disrupting or impeding the orderly flow of traffic in the terminal.
yes,
Satisfied, Mr. Mena?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged to being a disorderly person as indicated by Mr. Jadala. This plea is taken pursuant to MCL 771.1, which means it's delayed for a period of 3 months. So long as you incur no new criminal cases in the state of Michigan in the next 90 days and you pay costs of $200, the case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Do you need more than 5 days to pay the $200, ma'am?
yes. I'm actually trying to get a job.
Then ma'am, what you need to do is you come in person to the court. You can set the payment plan. You can call and speak to the collections department, or you can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button where you may submit a request for a payment plan, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
I have a question.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what's your question?
Okay, so my question is, how long am I not able to work in the airport?
Well, that's between you and the airport.
Okay, so you wouldn't know that answer. Okay.
The court has nothing to do with anything beyond this
Oh, okay,
citation.
yeah, okay, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Have a good day. This is 22VB022520M Van Buren Township versus Deanna Jordan.
Angela Mannering on behalf of the people.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Miss Jordan. Miss Jordan, would you please turn on your video and state your full name for the record?
Deanna Jordan.
Miss Medina, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I am in receipt of discovery in this matter. I need the opportunity to review it with Miss Jordan. I'm asking for a pre-trial date in January, Your Honor.
The 4th or the 18th, Mary Ann?
We can do the 4th at 10:30.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, if you wouldn't mind for the 18th, Marianne, just because I have the other matters scheduled for that day.
You bet, at 9:20.
Thank you.
Your case is being adjourned to January 18, 2024 at 9:20 a.m. That will be by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Notice of the new date, time, and Zoom meeting ID information will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning. Is there anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jordan, before you go, you have some other unrelated matters where you owe the court $470. If you have not done so recently, please contact the court's collection department to set payment plan in this matter or come and pay this amount, $470 in full. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're free to go. You have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. This is 23WM01449OM, Wayne County Airport versus Coleman. Your appearances.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Coleman, Your Honor.
Ms. Coleman, unmute yourself. State your name for me, please.
Hello, my name is Naja Coleman.
Thank you, ma'am. Today is the day and time scheduled for the show cause arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Mena is going to dismiss this matter. Ms. Coleman has already taken care of the fee to standard parking.
Thank you. Ms. Coleman, this case is hereby dismissed. Your bond will be refunded less any administrative fees that are due.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
Mr. Batara was looking a little iffy there for a minute.
Oh, trust me, I almost had an anxiety attack, Judge. I saw all those people lined up in the clerk's room. And we made it though.
Screen of people?
Yes, it usually works out in the end. Sometimes it's just a little tougher than other times.
You guys did a great
That's a
job.
polite way to put it.
This was cleared very quickly. You guys killed it.
Well, we did adjourn a lot of stuff. Usually there would be more pleas.
Hey. Take the win, Mr. Batar.
No.
Sometimes you're just putting your headaches over until down the road.
To a whole different year, Dan. A whole different year.
It's a whole different year. And it's getting hard for me to write that 2024 down.
I keep writing 2023, January 2023.
Me too.
Is Mr. Miller there with you, Miss Medina?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 23VB02248 OM. This is Van Buren Township versus Stephen Miller. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Manarino on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Crystal Marie Medina on behalf of Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, would you please say your full name?
Stephen Anthony Miller.
Thank you. This case was scheduled for bench trial at 11:30 today. I believe that Ms. Manarino and Ms. Medina have had the opportunity to speak, and there's a resolution of this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, so Your Honor, my understanding is that we would be putting this matter out absent a formal plea to April Fool's Day. I believe it's a review date that the court has available for review normally of matters. And we would ask that this matter be set for that day with the hope that the issue is resolved by then, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, you've had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Medina regarding this matter this morning, still morning.
Yes, I have.
And sir, you're agreeing to schedule this matter for review on April the 1st,
Yes,
2024.
Yes,
And you've had some conversation with Ms. Medina regarding how you will, let's say, operate or utilize the property between now and that time, some understanding about the hours that you'll be engaging in certain behaviors?
Yes, Your Honor.
What we will do is schedule this matter again for April the 1st, 2024 at 9 a.m. by Zoom, back at this same Zoom ID. And so long as Ms. Medina and Ms. Manarino are satisfied with the state of things, it's my understanding that this case will be dismissed. If, however, you have failed to comply with the informal arrangements that have been made between yourself, Ms. Medina, and Ms. Manarino, then the matter will be reviewed and I believe rescheduled for bench trial. Is that your understanding as well, Mr. Miller?
Yes, it is.
Then we'll schedule that accordingly. Ms. Mary Ann will mail notice of that review date to you, Mr. Miller. Mary Ann, we won't run it through probation. It's a probation date, but I just want the parties to come back on. If between now and then there's some other agreement that's reached by the parties, it will be reduced to writing and submitted to the court. Other than that, I will see you here on April the 1st at 9 a.m. on Zoom, Mr. Miller. Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, that concludes this matter. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I
Oh,
don't
there's
see
still a
anyone
formal
else.
hearing at 11:15.
So am I released from my obligations here today, Judge?
No.
My part,
No.
Judge.
I can stick around. I can
Judge,
take
they
my
need to
time.
stay. He needs to stay. to
I
the
was
very
gonna
end.
say, I would happily badger Daniel.
Hey,
for-
I don't have to punch out. The clock keeps ticking. I keep getting paid. That's not a problem.
What I'll say for the record is that our last regular case was scheduled at 10:40 a.m. It's now 11:20 by this court's clock. I am looking in the court's breakout session. There are no unidentified persons in those sessions. Anyone who is not here that was on our 8 o'clock show cause docket is deemed to be untimely, and bench warrants shall issue in all the remaining uncalled cases. And anyone else that has failed to appear will be set for show cause.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see everyone. I'll see you guys before Christmas, or else I'd say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, but I know I'll see everyone at some point.
I'll be calling you in like
Thank
5
you.
minutes. Bye, see you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Did you need the Chloe Brown file, Mary Ann, or did you take care of that?
No, I need that. I'll come in there.
I'm halfway. I'll meet you in the middle.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did a Kelly Ragay, Ragay, appear today?
No.
Failed to appear. Let me see if I have any other insightful questions for you.
I don't know if Miss Manarino was still here, or she's not logged on anymore. She might still be out in the hallway. The matter, I'm gonna have Mary Ann and reach out to you and Miss Manarino to kind of coordinate a good date.
Okay. Absolutely. We hopefully we'll be able to figure it out.
Anything else you wanted to check on?
There was one more thing, and I don't know how I missed it. I didn't write it down. It was the wall back matter, the no ops. I just wanted to make sure was a 345 fine. All right, today was just a bit crazy. I was trying to keep as organized as possible.
Well, I think you missed the conversation. There was an extraordinary docket this morning between you, Mr. Batar, Ms. Medina and Mr. Bowditch, you, we got through it. I don't have that file anymore. Mary Ann, I think
Okay.
might have it.
I'll check the register of action and verify.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You too. Take care, Mr. Jadala.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Nope, here's Lewis. Why is Lewis still in here? Oh, that's fine. There you are. We're just waiting for a hearing. Yep. Yes, Mr. Jadala. Oh, Mr. Mena.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
Woo. It was a day.
It was a day, but you attorneys did a fantastic job. Are you ready with Mr. Smith in the formal hearing?
I don't see Mr. Smith.
Oh.
And
I thought he was-
Mr. Smith wasn't, I don't see him as a participant either.
I thought he was here.
I have my corporals here.
I know.
And I haven't been seeing, I've been checking him, so I had to hop on a quick hearing, so the last 10 minutes or so, he wasn't on when I went on.
Oh, you know what? Hi, is there a Zachary Smith down there? Zachary. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. This is 23WM01426OI, Wayne County Airport versus Zachary Smith.
Good morning or afternoon, Your Honor, morning still. James Bennett up here on behalf of the airport.
Thank you, Mr. Mena. Today was the day and time set for the formal hearing in this matter. It was scheduled at 11:15 a.m. It is now 11:35 by this court's clock. The policy of this courtroom is 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. I have called downstairs to security. There is no one here responding to the call for Zachary Smith, and there is no one else logged on this morning. Based on Mr. Smith's failure to appear, sir, the court is going to enter a default as to the use of handheld mobile telephone while operating a commercial motorized vehicle or a bus. Is there anything else, Mr. Mena?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Good to see you, sir. That concludes this matter, and that concludes this court's docket for the day, Mr. Mena, unless you just want to hang out and enjoy the static noise. Have a good afternoon.
You as well, Your Honor. Thank you. Bye.
And Mary Ann, because our failure to appear docket is lengthy, what the court will note again for the record is that we closed the courtroom at 11:20 a.m. and anyone who had failed to appear is deemed in default. And for the show causes, that means the issuance of a bench warrant for the first failure to appear. The matters will be set for show cause. That concludes our docket.